Okay, class. So remember, when we balance using the t-table method, the first thing we'll do is put in a t-table. So we're going to split down the arrow because that splits our reactants and our products. Then we're going to list the elements. So each capital letter is a new element. Mg, K, and O. And because of the law of conservation of mass, what I put in, I'm also going to get out. So on the product side, I also have Mg, K, and O. Okay. Third step, I'm going to count what I have initially. So on my reactant side, I have 1 magnesium, 2 potassium, and 1 oxygen. And on the product side, I have 1 magnesium, 1 oxygen. Notice they're not in the same order in the products, and 1 potassium. So 1 of each there. So my magnesium is balanced, 1 in, 1 out. My potassium is not. So I put in 2 and I got 1 out. So I'm going to go over to the side that is smaller. And I'm going to ask myself 1 times what equals 2. So 2, I'm going to put a 2 in front of the potassium, the K, on the product side. So that goes here. And then most important part, anytime I make a change on the equation, I need to recount. So that 2 gets distributed to my K, and now I have 2 potassium. And when I look at my lists, I am balanced. So that's all I needed to do to balance that first equation. Okay, my second one, I'm going to do this, start out the same way. I'm going to make my t-table by splitting down my yield sign, reactants on the left, products on the right. Next, I'm going to look at my capital letters, and I've got Na for sodium and Cl for chlorine. If I put it in, I have to get it out. So my 2 sides are going to be the same. Third step is to count. So sodium has 1, chlorine has 2 on my reactant side. And on the product side, it's 1 chlorine and 1 sodium. Okay, so my sodium are balanced, my NAs are balanced, but my chlorine are not. So I'm going to go to the smaller side. I'm going to ask myself 1 times what equals 2. So I know it's 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of the chlorine on the product side. So my only option is to put it here in front of the NaCl. So most important part, I need to recount. So that 2 goes to the Cl, which is what I was trying to do to make it a 2. But it also goes to my Na, which unfortunately changes my sodium that were already balanced. So now I need to go back to my reactant side with my sodium, and I need to say, okay, 1 times what equals 2? So 1 times 2, so I'm going to put a 2 in front of my sodium on the reactant side. And then most important part, I need to recount. So this 2 goes to my Na. The plus sign stops that coefficient, so I do not need to distribute it any further. It's done, and our equation is balanced. 2 reactants in, 2 products out. So for class today, you guys are going to be watching a video called Ready, Set, Fail as a class, and then there are a couple of questions for you to answer after it. Those questions are an exit ticket for the day, so we expect everyone to complete it before they leave today.